Hey guys, check out this podcast with ASMONGOLD and EMIRU and what they have to say about Marvel Rivals. I think you're gonna find it pretty interesting. Check this out. Check this out.
I was playing so much classic WoW, and then I just got into Marvel Rivals, and I started playing like 2 days ago, and I'm hooked.
By the way,
It's
guys, this is the
I'm so
Steak and
addicted.
Eggs podcast. You can see right there. It's always ASMONGOLD and EMIRU on this podcast, and it used to be Tectone, but they recently had to replace them for some personal reasons. So they're trying to figure out the third guest, but a great podcast. I recommend it. And in this episode, they have some things to say about Marvel Rivals that I think you'll be interested in.
It's
Did you play
crazy.
ranked yet?
Oh yeah, I started ranked yesterday. I'm gold now. Today I just hit gold.
Yeah.
And it's been so fun, man. It's just so funny. I was playing Captain America, and I'm like running up with my shield in front of like Punishers, just watching them like just kill themselves. It's just hilarious, man. I just love it.
It's crazy. I feel like there's already been like 2 years worth of leaks for that game.
Oh really?
Yeah, like for new characters that are coming out. Like there's more X-Men coming
That's true.
out.
Yeah.
Damn.
Emma Frost. I think Carnage.
A little bit of an update though, guys. Although there has been a lot of leaks for lots of new heroes coming out about 2 years, like she's saying, right? If you release 2 heroes per season, then all the heroes they've released, which is a lot, that would equate to probably about 2 years. But apparently, in some recent news, NetEase has put some fake hero files in the programs for people to data mine and then think that heroes are coming out when really they're just fake ones. So some of these hero leaks could be fake. We just don't.
Like there's
We
a
don't
bunch
know.
of other ones. But
We're just gonna have to
okay,
wait.
so I like how for balancing they've basically been like, we're just not gonna like force anyone to do anything.
Yeah.
Because like with Overwatch, role queue kind of like killed it.
Yeah.
Like when I saw people on Reddit complaining about Marvel, like I'm not gonna play because they won't add role queue. I'm like, bro, you're
Yeah.
so stupid. So it's
You think
literally,
you
like,
do, but you don't.
they're so stupid. So like in Overwatch, it wasn't fun because with like say like you pick DPS, you can only
By the way, I just think it's adorable that EMIRU, the tiny little Vietnamese girl, she's like 3 times more knowledgeable. She's like 3 times more knowledgeable than the other 2 gentlemen in the room. No offense to them, but I can just tell, like the gamer sense in me can tell. Like shout out to EMIRU, she knows her stuff. It takes one to know one, I guess. ASMONGOLD, I mean, he's knowledgeable too, but you'll hear him later talk about Overwatch, and you can kind of tell he just doesn't know what he's
pick
talking
from
about,
full
really.
DPS.
Yeah.
But like another game that has role queue is like League, for example.
Dota
but
has it
people
too.
don't complain about it in League
Yeah.
because let's say like you get top, you can still pick any character in the game.
Yeah.
Like you could pick like a ADC top or a support top,
Exactly.
and like you can play whatever you want. You can make it work.
And then your teammate dodges before the
Yeah,
game
so
starts.
it's like the version locked champion pool Overwatch,
Yeah.
the illusion of choice League of Legends,
Yep,
because
yep,
people
yep.
still pick meta anyway. And then
So did you guys catch that? She's saying that in Overwatch, people try to say that it tanked in Overwatch because there was no role queue, right? And then she talks about in League of Legends, there is a role queue. You search for, I want to play either support or ADC, and you search for that, and the game will put you in either of those roles, typically, right? But you can still pick any hero. Like you can still play a top lane hero in the bottom lane if you really wanted to. It's not recommended. It's not meta. It's not going to have a high win ratio. But for some reason, if you know some meta breaking thing that works, the game won't stop you from doing it. And that is cool about League of Legends style queue ups, right? Because who doesn't want that freedom, right? Who doesn't want that freedom? I think the suggestion is good. So people, especially people who are new and don't know what they're doing, the suggestion is good. Like, hey, these are like kind of like what Marvel Rivals does. Like it says, these are your strategists. These are your duelists. These are your vanguards. But hey, and typically maybe you'd have 2 of each. Maybe that's typical. But you can definitely, you have the freedom to do other things. We're not going to stop you. That's what we want. Like, wouldn't that suck right now today if you logged into Marvel Rivals and you didn't have the option to switch around, because another thing, right? In Marvel Rivals, people are switching classes, trying different things out, like in the middle of games. Like, oh, two tanks isn't working. Let's try three healers, and then suddenly you're winning the next two rounds, and turning a game around. And I think that is what's really fun. One of the things that's really fun about Marvel Rivals. Let me know in comments if you agree. Whoa, I muted it.
And pick 6 DPS and still win. Like people complain, but
Yeah, dude,
yeah, I like it.
I'm gonna be honest. The game put a smile on my face, man. I was like actually having a lot of fun. I was just like, I was like, man, I like really like this game. Oh, this is so fun.
Asmon quit.
Yeah.
He uninstalled like 3 times.
See, so I apologize again for not knowing this guy's name. It's not in the title of the podcast, and it wasn't in the description. It's like, anyways. But see, this guy right here completely embodies what I see being Marvel Rivals' great success. And Marvel Rivals does something really well where it you can get into it casually and have a blast. It's not that complicated. I mean, it doesn't have to be complicated at first, right? You can have fun immediately. A lot of the heroes kits aren't too crazy, and you can just, and even if you don't know a hero, you can get in a quick play and win games by just punching things, basically,
I don't know if the game is currently installed right now.
Dude,
I'm actually not sure. But no, I was a few games away from hitting plat.
Okay.
And like I had done a couple of queue sessions, and this was like at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think I got into silver or something like that when like the season 1 came out.
Yeah.
I just played for like maybe a couple of hours, and like I was in gold, and then I got down ranked to bronze. It was like I did a few games on stream. Obviously that was horrible.
Okay.
And I hate playing competitive games. Like I have the most toxic attitude of any, like I feel like I deserve every win, and I hate myself for every loss,
Yeah.
So it's like there's never a win condition for me where I can go to bed and be happy.
Dude, Asmon, I understand where you're coming from.
Yep.
I have like a couple of friends that like they had to quit playing the game because they would play with my other friends.
I'm sure none of you guys know anybody that reminds you of the thing that Asmongold just described there, right? I'm surely not yourselves, and surely no friends that you have. I mean, we're all like this on one level or another, right? Both the positive and the negative, like chemicals you get from when you're playing these games, which are really amped by competitive things, by the way, right? It's very addicting. Even the negative lows are very addicting to our human chemical things that we got going on up here, right?
Yeah.
And they would be so, they'd like nicest guy ever. Nicest guy ever. I swear, never said a bad thing, never been toxic, but he logs on Marvel Rivals. He starts playing with my boys.
That's
and
it.
he just is
so
a different
mad.
demon in the call. And he was so toxic that my other friend left the call.
Right.
And then when my nice friend noticed that, he was like, all right, I got to stop playing this. He just uninstalled the game completely and just stopped.
Yeah.
Because he hated how it just changed him. And I mean, some people just have like, that demon inside of them.
Not good for some people.
Yeah, it's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, I right now, like I would queue and play again. It's fine. Like
Dude.
I'm not afraid of playing. Right. It's just that
play.
like, yeah, for a while though, I was like a very, very toxic relationship.
So one thing I kind of keep espousing and talking about is keeping a good mental in your games and how that relates to like your real life, IRL. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog barking by this. He's driving me crazy. But I mean, just really quickly, it's really interesting and important, I think, to keep tabs on your, like, if you have a rage problem in game and how that relates to maybe things in your real life, these things can all be worked on. And like building a muscle, being able to be aware of when those like rage things are welling up inside of you at a teammate, and just kind of take a step back from it and get in control of it. Not only will you win more games, but you'll also just kind of be more aware and in control of yourself. It's a good thing.
That makes sense.
And then I just kind of like got more used to it. And because like I haven't really played competitive games for a while, so I had to get back into the mindset of it for sure.
Yeah, for me, I'm just like a PvP gamer. That's like all I played for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
I mean, like for just to give you an example, the only reason like I really even started playing MMOs in the first place, like Ragnarok Online and like Terra and BDO,
Those are
for,
PvP MMOs.
yeah,
It's
for
really
And
bad.
so, like, I'm curious what's going to happen with Marvel Rivals, because I think what their strategy is going to be is we just keep adding more and more shit.
So there's no like stagnancy in the
Right.
meta or anything.
There's never going
Well, yeah, of course they're going to do that, right?
to be
Yeah.
a stagnant meta, because we're just like putting a deluge of shit in there. And so you just have to kind of keep up.
Well, yeah, that's what I was trying to segue into earlier, and I
Yeah.
completely got sidetracked. Is that since they leaked like 2 years worth of characters, but
Right.
well, not they. I'm sure they just have like the worst like
Mistakes happen.
the like, yeah, things, yeah, whatever. So my fear, because this kind of happened with League, except League is very proactive about balancing and
Yeah.
like trying to like not get people to play shit that other people hate.
League is so dog shit.
It is. It is.
True
but
that, brother.
My fear with Marvel Rivals is they're
True
gonna add
that.
so many characters that eventually they're gonna add one or two just like unbalanceable, game ruining, like hell characters.
Oh yeah.
And then they're either gonna like I don't know, like when League does that, they usually just like nerf those characters to shit and then just no one plays them anymore.
Yeah, they make them garbage.
Yeah, they make them garbage, or they'll add like something to like kind of counter it. But I'm curious to see like what they're gonna do when they have so many broken characters.
That's the concept.
I'm curious, like, so what do you guys think about this? I mean, as far as what she's saying, of course, what she's saying is bound to happen on one scale or another. I mean, it's highly unlikely that they are going to go on this track record of releasing perfectly balanced heroes with no kit flaws forever, right? So, I mean, I'm sure that's bound to happen, and that's kind of how all these games work. And then they try to adjust them. But let's go
The
on.
struggle, especially like with competitive games, is like eventually over time, like they have to keep adding more and more.
Mhm.
But like, you know, eventually it just becomes like overwhelming to the point where like everything is broken, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because if everything is broken, then it's balanced in a way.
Yeah, nothing's broken.
Because
Yeah.
everything's
But if they make
overpowered.
some
Okay, so this is something that I don't know. I'm struggling with this concept in my own brain, I guess, because this is kind of the going thing that everyone says about Marvel Rivals right now. It's like, how would you describe the state of Marvel Rivals balancing? And everyone says, well, everything is overpowered. They're going for a state of the game where everything's overpowered, so everything's fun to play, right? Because you're always going to have that moment or window of feeling super freaking powerful, right? So, but it's really hard to make everything overpowered equally. I don't know. Let me guys know what you think about that.
something too broken, because like in League, some of those characters that are like say like Azir or Zeri,
Mm.
it's like no matter kind of what you do, they're always either gonna be bad or broken just because like how their kits are.
Yeah.
So like they could add a character like that at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously those characters didn't ruin League.
I mean, I feel like the biggest like war crimes to like League of Legends, like the one I can think of, like was Yumi. I heard Yumi for a while was like ruined
Oh yeah,
the competitive scene
yeah,
completely. So like
and just like
Yeah, for those of you who know League well, do you guys remember when they would put Yumi on Garen in bot lane, and he would just be insanely fast. He would never die. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
fun to play against.
yeah, because it's
and
just like a character that
everything.
kind of defies the logic of the game.
Yeah,
Like
so Asmon doesn't know. So I'm
Oh, you
gonna
don't know
explain for
about Yumi?
Asmon. So
Okay.
Yumi, they literally designed Yumi, and I think that they've even said this.
Mhm.
They designed Yumi because they wanted to create a character that people could like invite their girlfriend to the game and be like, "Hey, you don't have to learn how to play, but we
Yeah.
can
It's
play
The character
together."
for stupid like
while
that.
doing all the
I
shot
do
calls.
feel like
Yeah.
at
That's
some
Yumi.
point rivals will try to like add more like innovative characters and eventually like make like kind of a mistake character like that, because it's like
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
you can only make so many healers where their ult is like circle of
They're gonna
healing.
add
True.
Yumi to Marvel Rivals, and it's gonna be the end. No.
Oh, they're gonna add something really stupid to the game. I mean, because
Yeah.
you think about, I mean, like they already have a lot of really stupid things in the
Oh,
game, like the Jeff ult
Oh.
where he can just jump off and
Oh, yeah,
kill everybody.
Jeff ult is pretty dope.
Yeah,
It's
or
so stupid.
that's so dumb. Or
Okay, so what do you guys think? Is Jeff's ult stupid? I mean, stupid as, is it unhealthy for the game? I understand that it's kind of stupid conceptually, like the idea of a shark eating things and then he just jumps off the side is, I guess I could see where some people might think that's stupid because it's like, I mean, Jeff is just kind of this overtly cute character, kind of ridiculous little shark creature. His ult kind of matches that persona, I feel like, so it kind of falls in line with the character. I'd say, I don't know about stupid, but definitely silly is kind of the thing there. But I don't think the ult is unhealthy for the game. I mean, you hear that audio cue and you have a decent amount of time to run away. I just feel like he's one of those newbie killing ults, right? Like, because if you don't know what's coming for you, when you hear that audio cue and you have six people in like their first 3 games hovering around the cart and they just don't know that a shark's about to eat all of them, and then it's gonna feel really stupid for sure to them. But that's just, I mean, there's lots of ults like that in the game. I mean, what's more stupid? The shark ult where he eats you and has to jump off and kill himself, or a Iron Man ult where he just shoots a beam and destroys you all in like 2 seconds and he still survives? Like, is that not stupid? Think about it. Come on.
Again.
Yes, exactly.
Again. It's like I'm going
so fucking annoying.
Again.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't even know how that
super,
works.
Super like, yeah, just some abilities you can't really balance them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It just has to be
it's
broken.
not about damage or anything.
Well, there's like a wall hack is a good example, right?
Yeah.
Like a wall hack, or like being able to have a death save, where like if you reach 0 health, like you get a resurrection.
Oh
like,
yeah, with Mercy in Overwatch, they changed her because of that.
Yeah, so like those are the things that when you add that into the game, that fundamentally changes the game. And it changes the way that people play massively. And it's very hard to like balance these things because they're completely like they're not numerical at all, right? It's like a functionality advantage, like movement speed, for example. Like if you had a character in Marvel Rivals that could give everybody like 20% movement speed, it would be one of the best characters in the game, right?
100%.
But it's like, how do you nerf that in like a mathematical way? It's like you can't, because like you have these other like different like vectors where it's like, okay, well, you have the skill level of people being able to lead their shots. And so like for example, like you never play against the Widowmaker in Marvel Rivals, right? Have you ever played against the Widowmaker?
He means Black Widow.
Ranked?
No, I think she's bad. Oh, I think she's bad because she's.
So I see what he's saying, and he does know he knows what he's talking about, but just you can just tell he hasn't played Marvel Rivals like that much compared to maybe some of us. Maybe I've just played it way too much. Maybe that's what it is. You never know,
Yeah,
guys.
she's bad.
Yeah.
Well, like, but you do have people that play her at high rank at a relatively high win rate, right?
Do you?
Yeah, you do. Like if you look at the win rates that they've posted, not Widowmaker, Black Widow, same thing. Basically has very high win rates.
People were saying she's the worst character in the game. You should never play her.
And
Yeah,
she is,
was this a
unless
thing?
you're really, really,
Was this a
really
thing?
good. Let me see if
Maybe
can
for
show
like
it.
a blip in time, this was a thing. But
if you go to like Duelist or whatever, and let me see. Well, maybe not anymore. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess not.
Down
Whoa, wait. Can you go back up?
36.
Win rate?
These aren't
Okay.
sorted in order, I don't think.
39%.
Yeah, 39%. Yeah.
there might have been a time when see what can happen is if there is in really high elos, if there's like 5 or if there's a couple really good Black Widows, since nobody else plays Black Widow, if there's 5 really good Black Widows that are winning like 70% of their games, it'll make the overall percentage for that character or that hero look like it's really high. But really it's only just this small pocket of people winning the games on. They're like the only people playing, there's no one else playing the hero in that elo losing, right? So it's going to look like it's high, but so those numbers can be skewed. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't remember that time, but I'm sure he's not making it up. There probably was a time when Black Widow maybe was doing good, maybe in like a certain elo, or maybe I honestly know. Okay, let's finish this out here.
Then it looks like my information's out of date. Maybe that's maybe it's different. I remember looking at it before and I saw it was very high, but maybe I was misinterpreting. But
I mean, when a game fresh comes out, like you're not really gonna be able to tell who's like good or bad because like anything that's cheesy will have a high win rate just because people won't know how to play against it yet.
Yeah. That's not really too big of a surprise. But yeah, I mean, in general, like I'm expecting to see a lot more people like, you know, figure out metas for the game. And then there's like an expectation of like, oh, this character is always going to be like really good. But
Yeah.
I do think it was really cool. Like, I think Wolverine is like probably the coolest story in the game where like originally it was really bad. And then one guy made a video where it was like, actually, Wolverine is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And now everybody was going to play Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine is actually a menace. He's a tank.
Well, they
killing
buffed him.
menace.
They gave him like 100 health or something like that. It's crazy because he had like
I
275.
don't know if it's ever gonna be like where you see the same character in every like Hilo match because another thing that I like that they did is for Hilo they added bans.
Bans, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 bans per team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Overwatch
guess
never
as they
had
add
that.
more character, you can just add more.
Yeah. By the way, I would like. I kind of wish they had bans in lower than diamond. Like, as soon as I got to diamond and experienced the bans, I knew I was gonna like it, and I was right. I mean, you just eliminating those heroes. You just have more control over the game. It makes it more dynamic. It feels like it's more fair, you know, because your team decides like, I don't want to fight this. And again, I love EMIRU's like gamer sense. She just knows what she's talking about. If you can't tell, I'm kind of a fanboy over her, I guess.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how League went from 3 to 5 bans per team.
And I kind of like Marvel Rivals because it's feels like a party game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a sense where it's like really, really fun, but at the same time can still be slightly competitive. It reminds me a lot of like Smash in that sense. It's like
Yeah.
fun with the friends, but also, you know, that has like competitive like skill
that's how
to it.
that's,
That's
how
Overwatch. Yeah,
felt.
exactly.
That's how
It used to
felt when
be,
Overwatch
right?
came
I never
out.
really played Overwatch when it first came out when it was apparently good. So
You missed out.
yeah.
It was really, really good. And I feel like it stopped being good. I don't know. Like, I'd really have to sit back and think about it. But like, it was really good for like 3 years or 2 years or so. And then, because like, I mean, they had like that whole Overwatch League. Like, it was an entire industry for a while. And then they just kind of gave up on it, I guess. And like, then they had Overwatch. I don't know. Like, it's going to be so fucking funny to me if Marvel Rivals adds a PvE mode.
Oh,
They
God.
need to do that. Like, then it's going to be
I bet they
officially
will.
fucking over for
I feel
Overwatch.
like, bro, I feel like they keep doing so much shit to like intentionally be like, yeah, like you see us in like,
Yeah.
Overwatch, like, but us.
Yeah.
I feel
They've
like
already
they
put
could.
Overwatch in the grave. Like,
Dude, but the crazy thing is like their PvE would be so much better because they already have like amazing stories to like build the PvE
that is
around.
true.
Yeah, because they have pre-existing lore that
Yeah,
goes
you're
back
right,
like
you're right.
decades.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's absolutely correct. You know, people always used to joke about like copies of games being the killer. Like they'd always say like the WoW killer or
Yeah.
the Genshin Impact killer and all this stuff. Well, we actually have the Overwatch killer.
Overwatch is already dead.
It's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
There's nothing to
Overwatch. You know what? The
kill.
the
Wait, so
Overwatch.
what did Marvel Rivals do?
It's
Burn the grave? Piss on the grave?
the
Well,
rebirth.
Yeah. Well, the Overwatch killer was Overwatch. You know, it was Blizzard.
True.
And so, like, yes, very true.
That was so that's the end of the video. That's where they stopped talking about Marvel Rivals. But what do you guys think about the balance of the game? I'm really curious to see. Oh, I just wish they could release more heroes faster. I know that they can't. They can only release them so fast because they can only work on them so fast. And also, you know, introducing new heroes, you have to then balance them in relation to all the other heroes. It's a pretty big task to be on the balancing crew of a game, I can imagine. But pretty interesting stuff there. It's interesting to hear them talk about Marvel Rivals. Everyone kind of has their own perspective, their own relationship with Marvel. You have your sweaty, like, competitive players. You have your casual, you know, people who play like maybe a couple games a day. And then you have like, you know, maybe people who are just starting with it. And then you have people who don't like it. You know, they have something against it. Some people politically don't like Marvel Rivals because of, you know, weird gamer politics that I won't get into. But I've been enjoying it. I'm still enjoying it. I've been enjoying climbing. I still feel like I can get higher on the ladder, which is weird. You know, one thing I wanted to say, guys, you know, I feel like I got to diamond. This is going to be like a weird brag, but I swear it's not like that. I feel like I got to diamond pretty easily. compared to other games, right? In other games, I have to, I mean, especially at my age, I don't know. It's hard for me to get to diamond, like pretty hard. Like I have to really work for it. I got there in Marvel Rivals super fast. So is that just because it's a new game and everyone's still learning, right? And I'm just kind of beating that curve? Is it because I'm just good at this type of game and I didn't know it? Um, is it because Rocket Raccoon is broken and Hulk is broken? Like they kind of are. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I'm starting to lose my train of thought. So thanks for watching. Check out that podcast, the Steak and Eggs podcast, if you like those guys, especially. They're pretty funny in that they talk about, always like video game stuff. So probably right up your alley if you're watching this and you're still at this point, still in the video, watching this video, this late in the video, you probably like that podcast too. So I hope you guys have a great night. Bye-bye.